All right, here we are, another week around the trash fire. Your host Matthias, along with the boy.
John.
Well, John, November is seeming pretty empty in the Warhammer space.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I
not.
got my Black Templar, so all pre-ordered and ready to go.
I haven't attempted yet. I'll wait. I'll wait till Black Friday.
Got it.
But yeah, there's just not a lot of stuff happening here, which is fine, I guess, because I don't need any more models,
Fair.
given the workload that I'm doing.
Yeah, I think
But
I'm kind of done with my purchases for the year. I can't think, unless they release 30K this year, which I doubt at this point. It's way too late in the year.
yeah, well, like I said, the only thing I'm gonna spend money on is Helbrecht, Grimaldus, and I think that's it. I'm still debating if
Yeah.
I want to buy that other character that's not a firstborn but not a Primaris.
Guy, yeah.
Still debating on that one. But Helbrecht and Grimaldus are definitely the last ones I get for this year. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Eldar December. No, I doubt it.
No, we already got that. That's Gene Steelers and Cassody. So money safe. Next year, my wallet is going to be in pain.
Eldar.
Eldar, probably the only thing I really care about. But you never
Yeah.
know. AOS could release something that catches my
Dark
eye.
Help. Might get Malarian.
Who?
Malarian.
Yeah.
Malekith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's his Malarian now because he fused with his dragon.
I see. Well, hopefully that doesn't come out next year because I don't think I'll be able to recover with all that craft world. Anyways, we can start off with the good old Sunday preview, which is the specialist preview. So Necromunda stuff, all this. Oh, sorry, Warhammer stuff. AOS. Is this the model that they were giving out at special events?
Yes, yes. So, I mean, I lined up for like 3 hours for this model. I think it was like 6 hours. But
It was
I
six
think it's
hours.
good. I'm gonna echo Will and say I don't like it when they release special edition models that are plastic. They're only limited because it kind of sucks. I prefer they, release the model to everyone. So, um, I am glad. I for one, I'm glad that they're releasing her on her own. So.
Well, as much as I agree with you and Will, it does cheapen the value of the model.
Absolutely, if you're trying to resell it. So,
Well, I mean, it's like one special model because you went to that one event that no one, that that you spent, in your case, 6 to 7 hours in line for.
right.
Now, all that time was pretty much wasted, right? Because now you can just buy this weekend.
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, there's also the event, but or actually going to the store. But yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like time definitely feels more wasted now that this is coming on its own. But you know what? That's okay. It's
Again,
okay.
I agree with you and Will's assessment. They should never do limited models for special events kind of deal. I think it's stupid.
Hmm.
But if it's an event thing, I mean, why not just go for it? I mean, it's like I would hope for event models they would do something like Red Gobbo.
I
Yes,
think
we
I
hate Red Gobbo, but that's just an event thing. He doesn't really do anything.
yeah, I think I get you because I mean, like if I knew this was coming out like 3 months later, I would not have lined up for it for sure.
Right. I like to just say like when Games Day used to be in LA, I went to the last one, and
Mhm.
we got that. I I want to say librarian with a thunderhammer, or was it just a space marine captain? I don't remember. It was some space marine character with a thunderhammer, and that was cool because it was a limited model that you could only get by going to the special GW event,
Right.
and I don't think you can get that model anywhere.
I don't think so either. I think I know what you're talking about. And yeah, I think he was only available at Games Day.
Yeah, because Games Day was a special model each year they ran it because that was GW's special event until they stopped running it in LA, and then I don't know when they discontinued that,
Yeah.
but see that's just the event stuff, and I would rather them just do this, just give me the special model on its own kind of deal,
Hmm.
even if it's an event model like this is. I think I want to go with Flying Frog, the people who make Shadows of Brimstones model here, where they go to Dice Fest, which is another convention, uh,
Hmm.
where if you go to the event, you'll get the model for free. Well, not for free, because I mean you got to pay for the event and all that. But you also can order that model online while the event
Oh,
is going on.
gotcha.
So I think maybe that
That's
would be the compromise, but
yeah.
there's many ways that you could do this. Anyways, the model
I
is
mean,
now available for everyone.
right. Yeah. For a limited time. So if you miss it, that sucks.
Yeah, it's not gonna be sold forever, but that's the thing with limited models.
Indeed. Indeed.
Moving on, Middle Earth. Um, can I just say I looked at these models and oh my god, did they not age well?
No, they really did not. The metal sculpts are showing their age for sure.
Yeah, I looked at this. I'm like, yeah, they're OG and everything, but god damn, are these ugly?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even those ring rates, like oof. Even the Thranduil, Thranduil is a cool character. He looks like a butt. It's just it's not cool.
It's
Not,
yeah, the earlier
I mean,
scopes are not that great.
I just don't like metal. I mean, there's entire game systems I refuse to play because they're metal.
Hmm.
Because they're metal. But yeah, no, it's hilarious watching them re-release these. I mean, some of the metal stuff is cool, like the ring wraiths, but anything with a face, just kind of just
Yeah,
yeah, no,
it's not good.
it's not good.
But I was surprised to see that this is coming around. But I mean, Lord of the Rings has been making its rounds, but I
Right.
assume it's because the net is it Netflix or Amazon deal that's doing Lord of the Rings.
I think it's Amazon, the Amazon series. I mean, no, that's true. They are coming out with stuff, which is good. More is always good,
All right.
but I could definitely see a resurgence of Lord of the Rings because of that show.
Well, of course, and it'll be interesting to see if they can get that those tie-ins as well to revitalize the game a bit more. Though it'll be weird
It will be weird.
given all the I haven't been following the news on the Lord of the Rings series, so I don't know exactly what they're doing. I don't know if they're retelling the trilogy or not, or if they're doing their
No,
own thing.
it's gonna be stuff we haven't seen. I forgot exactly when it's set. I think it's modern Lord of the Rings, so it's not like the ancient stuff with like the army of Balrogs or anything, which would be cool. But
Okay, so yeah,
it's gonna be stuff we haven't seen for sure. That I know. It's haven't seen in film. I mean,
right. Well, we'll see if G Dubs can probably get those licensings big enough to
yeah,
do it, but I mean, Lord of the Rings is a popular title, so who knows?
right, right.
But yeah, ugly models in my opinion. Sorry.
No, they're ugly.
Necromunda. Speaking of not too bad models, we're finally getting the Van Sar stuff.
Yeah, the arachnirigs.
Yeah, this one was weird. I remember we didn't really like this one too much. The
Yeah, I
little
think we like
dreadnought one.
this. Yeah, we like the design and the artwork, just the posing of this model. The second one looks cooler, the second picture, but the one on top where the legs are kind of scooted back, yeah, definitely not a fan.
I mean, I get what they're going for, but yeah,
Where's the running?
it
Actually, I
is.
think it's the same. It just looks not as bad in the second one. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the posing at all.
It's just taking one long step. That's all.
Yeah.
So we're finally getting that. We're getting the Spider Man with his little spiders.
Oh, that's a cool one.
This one I liked. I want to pick it up. I really do. I don't know what I'd use it for, but I really want to pick it up.
Add it to some kill team.
Bro, it'd be cool.
Yes.
No, I just added the Shadows of Brimstone, if I'm being honest, but
Oh, there you go.
I can make it work.
There you go.
But yeah, out of the two, this would be the only one I'd like. But glad to see that these stuff is finally coming. Uh, the champions. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I really don't remember these models. Did we ever see these?
I don't think we did. I think they were just. This is the first time they've been revealed. I think. Could be
Because
wrong.
I feel like we would have mentioned them, but I really don't remember
Me
ever
neither.
seeing these models. Well, since we both don't remember, what are your thoughts on these?
They're cool. I mean, it's a cool, unique sculpt. Um, like I would pick this up if I played Vansar, just because it's again unique sculpts from the regular dudes, and it'll be easy to identify your unit champions, which are what they are. So
Uh,
definitely neat, more neat than anything.
I don't know. It's just something about their aesthetic I don't like.
How about Vansar?
It's the Vansar aesthetic, man. I don't like it.
Because it doesn't scream Necromunda at all.
It's power armor, and
That
that's
was a
why I don't like it.
criticism. Yeah, that was a criticism they had when they came out with the redesign was like, yeah, these look like 40K models, almost Tau-like models, not necessarily Necro models.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm. There's obviously going to be a high tech gang out there because you gotta vary up your gangs and make them all unique and all that. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how they could have improved on them.
it's hard, right? Because I mean, the old Vansar look very similar to Orlok, in my opinion, to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and these new ones don't, but they're definitely pushing the aesthetic of yeah
Yeah,
of
well, that's what we always say about Vansar. It's like, is this Necromunda or is this just 40k?
right.
That's what we say every time we see these guys.
And even then, like as a guard regiment, they look way more advanced than you would think a guard regiment would be.
Yeah.
I mean, none of the guard regiments look high tech, in my opinion.
Nope, they would. I mean, if you just tattered up their uniforms, they'd just look like a gang member, really.
Right.
But yeah,
So
there we go. We got two new characters that, as far as we can tell, we've never seen before.
yeah,
And I don't think we've missed a show this entire week. So, or, I mean, entire year.
I mean, it's a Forge World thing, so I'm not surprised that they just randomly showed it.
Just randomly dropped, just like
It's a very Forge World thing to do.
sprinkle this in.
Yeah,
No hype behind it whatsoever.
it's like, hey guys, this exists. Woohoo!
True.
True.
All right, and then Warhammer Plus. Let's see. We got Angels of Death, another Lore Master on Bellicor. Those are only the two that catch my attention.
Yeah.
I got a question for you since you have Warhammer Plus.
hmm
Have you been watching the Lore Master series? I know you watched the Abaddon one, or no, the
Yeah,
Gazgul one.
the Techless one.
So,
Yeah, I've been watching them.
so you've been watching them.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, give me a rough number. How many are there episodes?
Gosh, I think there's like 4 or 5. So Gazgul, Techless, Abaddon,
Nagash.
Nagash, Be'lakor. There might be one more I'm missing.
Okay.
Um,
So, have you seen? Let's just go. Have you seen all four?
I think I've seen all of them. They went on the background at some point when I was painting.
Okay. I think that's a good number. I usually give it up to two, but four is good. How would
Yeah.
you? What would you say? What would you rate the show?
They're awesome. Like if you want to learn the lore, I mean, I don't think it's worth paying Warhammer Plus. to watch lore videos, but as something that it's included in Warhammer Plus, they're very high quality. And I mean, the problem I have with a lot of lore videos on YouTube are a lot of them they talk about, well, it's a fine line where, so a lot of them talk about their opinions, like, oh, this is good, this is bad, like, oh, I think this is a theory I believe in. It's like, I want the lore, right? But on the flip side, you don't want to just read off of the Warhammer wiki, because that's just lame,
Yeah, I
you
can
know?
think of a channel that does that.
Yeah, I think we are thinking of the same channel. Yeah, and they got a lot of crap for that for other channels. I mean, there's some channels I really like where the guy gives his opinion, but that I that's because I know the lore and I know, like, that he's giving his opinion or he's making a joke or something.
Hmm.
I think if a new person is going into Warhammer, these are excellent. They really, I mean, s- talking, if you talk about it from an academic point of view, like, these are primary sources of, like, these are from the guys who made the game. Like, you can't kind of argue with that.
True.
Of course, again, like, there's always the subtlety that the lore has. For example, the whole, again, the Abaddon thingy. Abaddon, the Black Legion was not an evolution of the Sons of Horus. They were an alliance of traitor legions after the Horus Heresy. But to the Imperium, they're just
Traders.
Sons of Horus, the traitors. And the Lore Master's video says that, but that's what the Codex says. So the nuance isn't there, which it shouldn't be, because I think that's what makes the nuance cool, is that it's not there. Like, I'm sure if they did an Alpha Legion video, they're not going to say that they're loyal, because that's only in the novels. It's not even in the Black books. Like, no mention that the Alpha Legion are secretly loyal anywhere other than Black Library books, which it should be.
Right.
So, but other than that, I think they're excellent in terms of just, this is the lore, and I that you could listen to. They're great. And again, there's some lore channels that are really good, some that are really bad. Even the really good ones, will say the guy or girl who's doing the video will say their opinion, and if you don't catch it, you could be spreading misinformation at worst, you know.
Right.
So, and the quality is great. They use the the guy doing the narration is a professional, video guy. I don't know the term, but, and the production value,
Narrator.
narrator, yeah, production value is very high, and yeah, I think they're great. I really like them, and I'm a lore nerd, so
Oh, it helps out. I like the lore. I like to just throw lore videos on in the background time to time.
yeah.
All right, well, that's good to know. I didn't know if they would be good sources of information. I mean, obviously, they make it. They make up the lore as they go.
Right.
So you would hope that everything here would be factual and told well.
Yeah, and in this case, they absolutely are. Well, I will give them that.
Well, I'm actually kind of interested in the Bellicor one.
Yeah, me too, because there's not really a lot of lore in Bellacore. I mean, I haven't read his entry on the New Age of Sigmar campaign books, but
Well, I
I
want to know what approach they're going to be taking with the video. Are they going to do both
right.
sides, or are they just going to
Oh,
do
that's
one?
true. Good point, Matt. Are they gonna do 40K Bellacore or AOS Bellacore? I think they'll probably do AOS Bellacore, because he actually does a lot of stuff in AOS compared to 40K, where he just kind of exists because he's a demon.
What are you talking about? He was like Abaddon's pet or something, right?
No, 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 no. He's barely in the lore at all.
I
He
thought him
does.
and Abaddon had like a thing at one
No, no,
point.
not Bellacore. I could be wrong, but I have not heard anything about Bellacore and Abaddon interacting much. I think Bellacore's in 30K. I think there's a short story where he's with Araman. I think. I think it's called First Prince. Horus Heresy. First Prince. Let's see. Oh yeah, he hangs out with Araman for a bit.
Hang out with a cool dude. I get it.
Yeah, cool dude. So yeah, so that's the one of the extents the Bellacore does stuff in. in
That
40K.
30K, 40K
Or
universe.
30K, yeah, 30K, 40K universe. But I think they're gonna do AOS
It makes
because
sense.
I mean, he's a big part of End Times. He's a big part of Gotrek and Felix. At least the final few books, and yeah, so and he's a major player in AOS now.
He'd be amazing. Yeah, I don't know because I haven't bought any of the Octarius books,
Uh huh.
but he's featured prominent in one of them ever since his new model
Yeah,
came out.
that's right.
But
Yeah.
I haven't read any of the, I haven't looked at any of the lore in those books, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, there's a spoiler. I could spoil the second book for you because there was a big spoiler in it.
Go for it. Well, I mean, I don't care.
And
So,
spoiler for Octarius Book 2. Spoiling now. The Tyranids defeat the orcs in Octarius and eat everyone.
oh, okay then. At least the Tyranids finally got a dub.
I know, right? They actually got a dub for once.
I feel like every time I read about Tyranids, they always die, even in their
Yeah,
own books.
they kill everything and then lose at the last moment. Happens all the time. Battle for McCrag, they eat like a third of Ultramar, fight the Ultramarines in McCrag, almost kill Marnius Calgar, then they lose. Ian Din, eat half the craft world, kill the Avatar, almost kill everyone, and then Prince Uriel defeats them last minute. Leviathan, they invade the Blood Angels homeworld, killed like 3 chapter masters of Blood Angel successors, almost eat the world, and then the demons defeat them last minute,
That's such a Tyranid thing.
right?
But yeah, I want to kick back on the lore master really fast here. For Bellicor, I agree with you. I think they're just gonna do the AOS version because it, demons. I feel in the 40K settings are just side characters. Like they really don't play a big part into the whole universe thing as they would in like a fantasy and AOS where they were
Hmm.
uh I would believe first established, right?
Where you mean demons?
Yeah.
Well, in fantasy, in 40K, the demons are they're more scary in 40K. They're more, especially in Horus Heresy, they're more mysterious and malevolent, and there's a lot of like horror story style stuff with the demons in 40K, where they possess things, they're creepy, they're
Right.
weird. Well, in AOS, they're just kind of another race in a sense. I mean, yeah, they possess things, their chaos is there, they do demonic things, but like in AOS, the demons have cities and they build buildings, do all that stuff.
Right.
It's
Well,
very
what I
war.
meant like is like the demons in fantasy AOS were more fleshed out, whereas in 40K it's more of like I don't want to say mysterious. It's more vague, right? We don't
Yeah,
really know too much about the warp and all that too
exactly,
much.
exactly. And that's the theme they go for in 40K. It's the more the fear of the unknown with the demons. Well, in AOS, again, they're just another race. So because they're just another race that does stuff, then they have more characters, and they actually have stakes and personalities. And I mean, yeah, in 40K some demons talk, but in AOS there's way more interesting interactions with the demons because they're more fleshed out. I think my favorite example of that is in one of the Nagash books. The bad guys are this Nurgle army, and there's mortals and demons there. And there's this kind of cool, funny scene where the mortal Nurgle followers are like, "All right, guys, we've been marching for half the day. Time to set up camp. Time to eat. Blah blah blah." And the demon's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? Why we're stopping?" It's like, "Oh, because we gotta eat." And it's like, "What do you mean eat? Aren't we gonna eat their souls when we defeat them?" It's like, I mean, yeah, but we gotta we're tired. We gotta we gotta relax and sit down. And they're like, "What do you mean? I don't. What do you mean when you say tired? What does that mean?" And like the demon's just like, "What do you mean? We gotta stop and chill for a bit. Just keep going, right? I'm a demon." And that's kind of interesting. Like, I wouldn't say that on 40K because it's comedic and not scary, but it's also interesting, and I think fits Age of Sigmar, the whole high fantasy stuff, like Warcraft or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe I'll watch it since I do have some friends who have Warhammer Plus.
yeah, I'll
But
check it out. Put
all
in the
right,
background.
I'll ask for your opinion on it next time.
Yes,
But moving on, uh, to New Model Monday.
Bottle Monday.
New Model Monday, 30K. Horus Heresy. We got the Sons of Horus Legion Praetor. And I'm going to say this. This is a sick looking model.
This is the best Terminator model in existence right now. Period.
And when I look
I,
at this,
yeah,
I do
this
not see a Space Marine. I see something that's actually pretty cool.
yeah, it's amazing and lots of cool detail. I mean, I could see myself. I mean, for sure, I'm gonna pick it up, but I might convert it to be Abaddon. That would be kind of cool because his third game model kind of sucks. But yeah, it's dope. I mean, you have the eyes, you got the back banner, you got that top knot. That top knot is a very Sons of Horus thing. And they even explain how like the skulls are gold because in Cathonia they would paint their trophy skulls gold, and I think that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not a fan of the mace. I prefer swords, but that's an easy conversion. Weapon and head conversions are the easiest. But yeah, color theory is great. Black, gold, red always works. Man, this is really the I really believe this. In my opinion, this is the best Terminator model in existence right now.
I would agree with you. This is pretty dope. I
And it
just
worked
love
for
all the
40K.
detail.
Yeah, we just the eyes. I mean, you just paint it black and gold, and you got a Black Legion Terminator Lord, easy. I mean, yeah, you could probably spike it up a bit more, but honestly, with all the eyes and that and whatnot, totally fits in.
Oh yeah, and mm, I would get it, but I have a feeling this is resin
Oh, absolutely, resin.
and it's Forge World, so not only is it gonna be resin, it's gonna be expensive, crappy resin.
Like $60 for the chance to fix it.
Yeah. Well, I got a guy for Forge World stuff, so
There you go.
I don't do the curating or anything. I'm like, here you go. I'll pay you for all your work. Just
Yeah, just
get it built.
build it for me. There you go. But yeah, this is awesome. This
Yeah.
this is hype. I mean, I'm doing Night Lords right now, but this is hype.
What I didn't expect to see in an article was Daddy Horus. I didn't expect to see that, but I am excited. I like this. This is good things to come, right?
Indeed, good things to come.
As
Come
we
on,
get
second
closer and
edition.
closer.
Second edition. Let's go.
Yes, and um, going on to the next thing here. Something I found funny because we just took that. Well, I took it live. I don't know when you took it, but we took that survey last
Yes,
week.
yes.
And one of the questions, when do we want rules update? And literally as soon as I uploaded that video or made the video go live, this dropped. We got a balanced data slate here for
Yeah,
a
this
bunch
is
of armies.
this is fascinating. I don't think they've done something on this scale before.
Oh, they have. They do this. They don't do it often, but they do
Oh,
it.
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I guess for me, it just seems so reactionary in the sense, but also good for the game.
Uh, I agree that one of the actions they did was reactionary.
Oh, the orc one.
The orc one,
Yeah, for sure.
which we'll talk about when we go through everything.
Yeah, and yeah, we could go through this. It's not a lot, so you could definitely chat about all the changes.
Okay, yeah. So let's before we go to the document, I'm gonna name a few things that are not in there. One, flyer spam is no more.
Yes. maximum 2 flyers in the 2K game.
Yeah, so you can have a max of. I know you said two. You can have a max of three depending on the size of the game.
Yes.
So for a 2K game, you can only have two flyers. Um, I both. I don't know. I guess I like the change. It's hard because in my years of competitive 40K, of eighth and ninth edition, I
Hmm.
have not gone against an all flyer army. So I know in eighth edition how terrible it was when you had to go against Craft World flyers because you go Alatok and then you'd start popping the stratagem that would also make you a -1 to hit. So
Hmm.
shooting a flyer that would be a -3 to hit
Right. That's
was awful.
crazy. And if you were orcs, that was before they had the sixes auto hit. So
Yeah. So I know because I saw a lot of those Eldar planes at LVO. So I don't know how bad it is because ninth edition they got rid of that shenanigans where the most it'll ever be is a -1. So I don't think
hmm
anyone was doing flyer spam as bad, but it really sucks for all those people who bought you know 10 flyers or whatever.
right.
Um, so I don't know how I really feel about this change.
I mean, I think flyers are just kind of bad for the game. At least how they are in 40K right now. Even in 30K, people frown upon all flyer lists. Just because in 40K they're oppressive because you can't hide from them. It's so easy for them to just ignore line of sight by moving over obscuring buildings and all that. I mean, you have Orkless with 3 Daka jets and just blast like you can't hide. If you have a character that's hiding behind your dudes, the Daka jet will just fly behind your line and kill the character. You got something, you get the enemy gets first turn and you have a threatening unit that you hit behind the building, he'll just fly over the building and blow it to smithereens. So
Yes, we should clarify that this is only for match play.
correct,
The
yeah. If you want to
max
play,
flyers.
play Aeronautica Imperialis with your 40K models, feel free.
Yes.
Play narrative, but
Um. Yeah, I agree because I guess with that orc list that won the last major tournament, I guess that makes sense.
yeah, and even with Admech, there was there was a tournament. I think it was London GT this year, where the final game was decided in like one turn because the guy just tabled his opponent with the Mechanicus flyers.
Yeah, well, Admech was broken.
Yeah,
I would
and
say they were always broken, but I just always had bad matchups against them.
fair. But yeah, I think flyer spam is bad for the game, and I welcome this change. And
Um, I would
yeah,
agree with that. Flyer spam was definitely not fun to play against, and going by the last tournament with the Orc Daka Jets ending the game in one turn, definitely not fun.
yeah,
Because yes, I get it that it's a competition and you want to do anything you want to win, but mm, making it so the other opponent is just has a bad time is obviously not fun. And I
yeah.
would assume it's not fun to play that list really, unless all you really care about is winning. Because I can't imagine playing one turn of a game, destroying your opponent to where he literally can't do anything, and then waiting the other 3 hours till the next round, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not fun in any war game where you could win in 1 or 2 turns. I think War Machine had the same. There was an elf list in War Machine where you essentially shot everything into the enemy warlord in 1 turn, and if he died, then you win. But if not, then you instantly lost because everything's exposed now. And that's not good. That's not fun and not good game design.
Right.
So.
So I would err on the side that yes, limiting the flyers was the best move to do because, as they said, if you want to play an all flyer army, they got a game for that.
Yep, Aeronautica.
Yep, and I think
And
that
you can always play narrative play. No one's stopping you.
yes, and I think that's it in terms of the rules that are not in the slate. So we can move over to the slate. Um, we'll just go down the list. Astra Militarum. Leaning Russ
Well,
gets a 2+ save. Sorry?
Admech. Well, Admech just gets points updates.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna go with the first page here. So, um,
Okay,
Astra Militarum. Leaning Russ, 2+ save. I would say about time.
I know. I agree.
It was back when they had armor value. I mean, having a 14 armor front was pretty good.
The highest.
Yeah, I don't recall anything beating a 14 armor
Yeah.
back in the
That
day.
well in 30K they have this thing called a flare shield, which was -1 to your strength, so effectively you were 15. But that aside, yeah, 14 was the highest. That was the toughest armor you could get for your vehicles.
Yeah, and then I don't remember the side armor of the Legion Rust, but
I think it was 13.
yeah,
It wasn't 14 all around like a land raider or a monolith, but yeah, the front was 14.
yeah. So it's good to see that that tank is finally getting buffed. So we'll probably see more spam of it. Um, and then your tank commanders can give more orders to other vehicles about time. And I wasn't too sure about the last one, but
It just means that you it lets you do more orders.
yeah,
So more things are affected by orders, which it's always good because Garden, they need their orders to function.
conscripts, 500 conscripts. Here we go.
Yeah.
Bring back what was that, 7th edition?
I
Or
think so.
or was that early 8th? I don't remember.
No, it was early eighth. It was early eighth where people just spam conscripts. That they it was so bad that they made conscripts cost as much as guardsmen.
Yeah.
So you would just be paying for the privilege of having a larger squad.
Yep. And we got semi big news for Chaos Space Marines. Uh, your specialized Death to the False Emperor now works on everyone, not just Space Marines. So they're probably gonna need to rename that, which let's
Eternal hatred or something. Not that hard.
let's be honest, probably not gonna exist when they get their book.
Yeah, it'll be a new rule.
No, I think they're just gonna implement the +1 attack, just like they did with all the other Space Marines or the Chaos Marines.
What do you mean +1 attack?
They'll just get 2 attacks or 3 attacks base. You know,
Oh,
like how Thousand Suns and Death Guard
oh, you're
lost
right.
this
Yeah,
rule.
yeah. They have an extra attack.
Yeah, so I think obviously this one's gonna just get rolled over to when they get their book, but rejoice, normal chaos. Excuse me, chaos players. You finally have +1 to your attack in melee.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't just give them an extra wound. If they're gonna do this, just these units have 2 wounds now. Chaos Marine, Terminators, etc., etc. But
Um, yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't do it either because I calculated it going off Death Guard and T Suns that you would just need to add two points to every model
yeah,
just
and
for that
even then,
extra wound.
Chaos Marines are doing so bad right now. Just give it to them for free. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to bother with the points thing. I don't know,
Well, yeah. See, that would require work.
but
They would need to add a 4th page to this saying that everyone went up 2 points
that's true. That's true.
for an extra wound. Um, but that's good for them. Good for Astra Militarum. Uh, the Knights. The Knights got a huge buff.
Yeah, that's a pretty big buff.
Knights are actually doing quite well, from my understanding, right now in the tournament play. But now your Knights. Um, I'm trying to remember the name. Not the Titans. Knights. Normal Knights, I think, are 5, and then the Titans are 10 models now. And when you're capturing objectives,
Which is good because it lets
uh,
you actually play objectives.
yeah, you can actually go on an objective and not get stolen by a horde of models.
Yeah, I also like how they gave the Armigers obsec, which is kind of cool. Again, makes them
Yes,
made it.
all the little robots now have obsect, so
Yeah,
even more reason to take them.
right.
So Knights got buffed. Necrons also got a big buff because they got the core keyword
Yeah,
pretty
that's a
much
huge.
added to all their canoptic stuff.
Now, is it gonna make the faction A tier? I don't think so,
And no, but it definitely makes them
but
better.
it definitely makes them better. It's a welcome change, especially as eighth edition, sorry, ninth edition was rolled in. Core units were less restrictive than initially with the Necrons. I mean, that's a lot of units that the equivalents in other armies are core. So there's a lot of new combos now with Veil of Darkness, um, destroyers, so you can deep strike them. You got
Flayed
Bible being
ones.
or flayed ones. Yeah, deep striking flayed. Well, deep they got deep strike already, but you could do something like +1 to hit on flayed ones on heavy destroyers. I think I'm not sure. The I think Zera Illuminor the Illuminor guy. Right? Is it Illuminor Zeras or the big crab guy who just got a new model. I
Right.
think buffs core, and I think he could buff those guys now, which is super cool. And yeah, lots of reanimation stuff works on these guys now, which is awesome. I think again, Necrons are not doing very hot in the competitive scene, so having a buff like this makes them not just better but also more interesting. Again, you see more combos now open up because of those changes, which is always a fun thing in my opinion.
Well, I agree. I mean, getting more core keywords, that's just more rerolls you can get and more buffs you can apply to them. Just
Right,
because now they have the core keyword.
right.
And it's what I said when the first book came out, or the first codexes came out. I said the first codex curse means yes, you're strong in the beginning, but you fall off so hard when the other books start coming out.
Hmm.
And we Necrons were pulling their weight because, we've been having very slow codex releases. So they've been holding on, but as we're getting more and more books, they've been really falling off.
Yeah, it really feels like they're left behind. So now this is a chance for them to be more even in the meta.
Yeah, I would say the only exception is Space Marines, who are actually doing well. And I said that this edition, Space Marines are actually a threat. Like,
I think, well, actually, looking at a lot of competitive articles and lists, like naked Space Marines aren't doing so hot. It's usually like Death Watch or White Scars or something. But like, if you just play Codex Space Marines, you probably won't play top tables. You really need a supplement.
well, I guess I should clarify. I lump all that together.
Oh, got it. Well, yeah, because Space Marines have the power of supplements to help them out. Well,
Yeah.
Necron, yeah,
I lump all the supplements together. I don't say that. I don't think anyone would ever really run naked Space Marines. I
right.
assume they'd be running a chapter with them.
Right, right. There's no reason to not use super doctrine from one of the supplements.
Right. And so, because they have so many supplements, the Space Marines are still really well, even if they were the one of the
Yeah,
first books to come out.
right.
So again, huge buff for Necrons. We'll have to wait and see the combos that come with this, but I assume they're gonna do a little bit better than what they're doing now.
Oh, definitely.
I can't attest to this because I only ran the 100 Necron warriors, a Nightbringer, and the King. And I have to probably rephrase that. I probably ran like 75 warriors because the King cost so much.
Right. Silent King.
And then the most questionable change here, the orcs can now only include cannot include more than one of each of the following units, and it's pretty much all the buggies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind this change. I play like that anyway. I don't like spamming multiples of a non-troop unit in general. So I think this is fine to me.
I
Because they were
think
buggies are kind of ridiculous. They're just fast, they do a lot of damage, relatively tanky. So
I don't know. I feel like this one. I think they jumped the gun on this one. I think they should have experimented a bit more and probably done point changes. And if the point changes didn't fix the problem, then they should have uh, gone with this rule. I
well
think
oh,
I
go
think they
ahead.
jumped the gun.
I think the problem with point changes is that if you change the points, then you'll just make it worse for everyone. Because the problem with the balance updates, the nerfs, is that like a few tournaments are dominated by something, and now everyone has to get punished. Like if because for me, right, if I'm looking to get some squig buggies, and if their points went up, then I'm not spamming them, but now and buggies aren't powerful on their own. They're powerful when you just stack buggies upon buggies upon buggies. So I think like initially I thought like wow like unit restrictions are not that good, but I think it's better than points changes for the game as a whole in the community because it again like the oppressive list was spamming like one or two buggies, and most people don't do that, so point changes would hurt everyone, while as this only hurts those oppressive tournament lists. That's at least that's my opinion on this change and why I was more amenable to it as I thought about it.
Hmm.
It doesn't affect me at all. I'm not going to run. I had no plans on running three squads of buggies. Now the only problem is so there's an orc upgrade mechanic where you can upgrade a unit of one vehicle with an upgrade. So if you want to upgrade like your squig buggy with nitro squigs, well then you better only have one squig buggy. So I think they should have made it like maximum of three of these models in your list. At least maybe you could have three units of one buggy, so you have some variety there.
Right.
I think the execution is could have been better, but I think limiting spam isn't necessary. Is it? I actually like it more than point changes because again, like it just affects people who spam, not necessarily people who don't spam.
Well, they have a limit on spam. I mean, it's only three of one unit that you can take max. That's not troops.
Right, but that was oppressive, you know, and
Right.
time will tell if one, this is a good rule, a change. But I think this is less feels bad than points because I think if it was a points change, it would just be way more negative among the orc community because again, like you had a list, the codex has been out for like what, like 3 months? No, 2 months,
Two
and
months.
there's 2 months, right? And you have an oppressive list dominating four or five majors and punishing the whole orc community because of those seems too much. And I think that's where the points changes won't be as good in my opinion.
I disagree with that. Just because I think point changes allows them to play around with it and see. Because if it's still a problem, then they could implement this rule and then they can revert the point changes. Because if they increase the point changes and this list is still being oppressive as is, They can revert their changes so that the buggies are not as expensive as as the first change, but then they can do the limiting factor to them.
But then there's the PR of you're effing all the orc players over again when their codex just came out. I think that's the difference there.
It's a touchy subject because you're gonna piss people off either way. I'm sure people are pissed off that they can't spam their buggies, all those buggies that they just bought, right?
Right, but I'm in orc groups and no one's really mad about this. In fact, people are making fun of the people who bought like 20, well, 9 of a buggy, right?
Right,
As
obviously.
the reverse, if the reverse happened, everyone would be mad, you know.
Uh, I'm
Even
just
the people
saying they just need to
who
experiment
spam
a bit.
buggies, if the points went up, people who spam buggies would have less buggies. I mean, I guess you could cut other stuff from your list, but I just think point changes is negative for everyone, while as limiting buggies only screws over the people who spam buggies, which is a minute number, which is like a small percentage of the orc players, I think. At least, especially from the fallout, quote unquote, from this in the orc groups I'm in,
Hmm.
and most people were fine with it. It does suck. Again, if I bought 9 squig buggies, and there was a time where I was considering it because I think they're cool. I would have been screwed over. And again, it's kind of dumb that you can't run a squad, 3 squads of one. You got to stick with one squad. I think that's not a good design choice.
Right.
But yeah, I think a point change would just make everyone mad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I get what you're coming from. I just think they should have. I think they should have either experimented a little bit more before putting this in, but we shall see.
Right, right. I
We,
mean, the best thing they could have done is just not make buggies OP initially, but now we'll just see kill rig spam. I guarantee it.
well, I mean, they just kept getting more and more buffs with each supplement that came out for them, from what I
Right,
understand.
that's true. I mean, the buggies were trash when they came out, and now they're meta defining. So
Yeah. Well, we shall see how this plays out.
we'll see for sure, for sure.
Mechanicus. We can talk about them. So just point changes for the Mechanicus. No rules or anything. I'm not really qualified to talk about this, so I don't know if anything. I don't know who got buffed and who got
I mean,
nerfed.
I read a little bit about it, and I think the castle and robots went down in points out of everything. So encouraging people to get more robots.
Hmm.
While everything else kind of most things kind of went, not everything, but most things went up. I think there was some guy who he won one of the majors, and he said his list was up 200 points, and he said that's fine. Like he wasn't even mad. It's like, yeah, like this was needed because the list was so oppressive. So I think this plus the flyer limitation will definitely I mean, obviously it's a nerf. It's gonna rain Mechanicus back. Is it gonna remove them from S tier? I'm not good enough to know. Time will tell with the data.
Right. Well, I think they'll still be good. A top tier army will always be top tier. I don't think anything can ever be like Gene Stealer cults, where they were in a good spot and then as soon as they got hit with a points change, they were immediately trash.
Right. You don't
But
want that.
that's like a small army where Mechanicus is, I would say, more fleshed out and doesn't have a gimmick to it.
Right.
So I think they'll still be okay. Being reined back a little bit is perfectly okay. And speaking of being reined back, Dark Eldar,
Yeah.
Chikari,
Your boys
my
and girls.
boys. I'm not taking them to LVO, not because of this, because I already set my heart on T Suns for the LVO, but
Hmm.
I didn't see too many changes. I know the Talos went down, which surprising. I didn't think they would go down in points, but they didn't go down by much. I think like 10 points. So not too much there. Um, I think the Succubus went up in points. for obvious reasons. That those things were murderous machines. Uh, Other than that, I think we got more point reductions on our models than I was expecting. Obviously, some stuff went up more points. I think uh, Cabalites. I think all our troops went up 1 point, so that's a little sad, but that's expected when you have very cheap troops.
Hmm.
Because I mean, rack spam. I know rack spam was a huge thing going on. Tough guys to kill. Bring them back with a stratagem. It was only a matter of time until they went up in points.
Right.
I think Reavers went up in points, and I think the not Ravagers. I'm trying to think of what they're called. Hellions. Hellions went up in points. Those are all like the main things I use. I think
Okay.
I think Eagle went up 1 point as well, unfortunately. And Grotesque went down 5 points. So
Hmm. Covens.
yeah, but the Grotesques aren't as good as they used to be.
Hey, they went down.
They went down. That's good because they're really not as tough as they were back in 8th edition. But
See, I like how they're reducing some stuff too, not just, jacking everything up in points.
well, yeah, I am much appreciated that everything is getting balanced according to the current power, right? It's not
Right.
just this is a problem. Let's bump up the points, and then don't touch anything else in the army. Just fix the problem unit. I'm glad things are getting scaled appropriately.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can't remember the last time we did a points update. Probably, is it safe to say 6 months ago?
That was a while ago, yeah.
Because I think the only ones who got hit.
Usually they do it, yeah, every 6 months, so that would make sense.
I think the only army that got hit was Jukari. Uh, to no one's surprise,
Yeah, and they were still.
because they were dominating the tournaments for 4 months or something like that because no other new books were coming out
Hmm.
until Admech came out. So I think that was the last time a points update happened, and that was that was hitting everything like Coven, Dark Technomancers can't spam their flamers anymore.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
There's that problem. So it's good to see that points changes are happening. And I know a lot of people, I know the memes that I've seen that, people are never happy when GW makes changes to anything. So, but they always want GW to make changes to stuff.
Right. No, no one's happy.
It's it's something that you're never going to do, right? You're never going to be able to please everyone.
Hmm.
Someone's going to hate you no matter what. It's the good life lesson to go by. Can't please everyone.
Especially if you're the best at what you do.
Exactly. So, uh, I don't really care too much about the Drukari changes because, like I said, I'm doing T Suns for LVL, so it's been my main focus. So I don't really have too much to say on this, other than I don't really see much of a problem. The reason I like points changes is because it changes up the game.
Hmm.
We no longer have to do the okay, here we go. These are the best units to take because of X, Y, and Z, and we're gonna just spend this for the entire edition.
Right.
Now it's point changes happen. Let's see what got better, what got worse, and let's make something new. Spice it up. So I think I put in my survey every 6 months. I would like an update. I think if I went back, I probably change it to every quarter.
Yeah, especially now that codexes are coming out at a faster rate, and we were going to see two more before the end of the year. So
Well, I'm hoping. Okay, this is a hope that next year, January, starting January, we'll get 2 codexes a month. Now, I know what people are saying. Why would you want that? Well, they were able to do it in 8th edition, so I don't see why they couldn't do it now.
I mean, I have an answer to that,
Which part?
to why they won't be doing it.
Oh, well, I know why they wouldn't be doing it,
Yeah,
but go ahead. Why wouldn't they be doing it?
I think because I think they're gonna. So who's left? Tau,
Tau,
Eldar,
Eldar, Chaos,
Mid,
Demons,
Chaos, Demons, and Guard. Right.
Guard, and then uh
That's it.
the supplements. If
Yeah,
you
that's
wanna if you
basically.
wanna go with that. Well, there's Scions. I don't know. I don't even know if they're gonna get a book, to be honest.
Oh, I think they're just gonna be rolled into Guard.
Okay. Yeah, and then I think you mentioned there was like 2 Space Marine supplements.
Oh, there's four: Salamanders, Raven Guard, Iron Hands, Imperial Fists. Actually, five, and Ultramarines.
Okay, so let's just I last count. I think that's like 11 books.
Yeah. So not counting the supplements.
Okay, so
Um,
it'd be 4, I want to say.
yeah, I think Tau and Nids or Guard. So here's the thing: Tau are gonna be released with another codex, so they'll do a two a month for that because Tau won't have any big releases with it. They're gonna have Dark Strider and that's it.
Dark Strider
Um,
Pathfinders.
I think, yeah, and Pathfinders. I think Eldar and Chaos are gonna be 1 month releases because we're gonna see big model releases for them. Because in eighth edition we didn't really see a lot of model like range re-releases for armies. And I think Chaos and Eldar, and if we're lucky, Tyranids will get model range changes, which will cause them to, only come once a month instead of two codexes a month. Which, I mean, if that's the price for new models, I'll pay that price. I mean, it'd be nice if the rules, came out
Right.
faster than one a month. But I think the main reason why it won't necessarily be the case, and it has been the case this year as well, is that model ranges are being updated, and they're gonna focus the month on just that.
Yeah, it's just sad. But
I mean, it'd be nice if you had orcs, not orcs, if you had chaos and Helltar on like a month, but I doubt it with the amount of models that we're expecting going to be coming out for those guys.
right, I understand. Like I
Yeah,
said, that was just a hope.
yeah. No, again, it'd be nice. It'd be awesome, but
But yeah, I know that's not gonna happen. Especially with the Chaos and Eldar. If the rumor list is true and we are getting a bunch of new sculpts for everyone, those definitely gonna be their own month to buy.
yeah.
Um, Speaking of buying stuff, you mentioned something. Well, you sent me something about potential box sets.
So the Sunday preview, at the very bottom, it's kind of hidden. It says that on Thursday they will be revealing the battle forces.
I see.
Yeah. So let's take a guess, shall we? Usually 4 boxes per gate for AOS and 4 boxes for 40k.
Okay. What do you want to start with? 40k or AOS?
Yeah, let's do 40k because we're talking about 40k. Obviously,
Okay. Um,
obviously Space Marines.
Obviously Space Marines. That's a given.
But which one are they gonna do? Phobos? Are they gonna do the new stuff? Are they gonna do
Well,
classic?
they always do Phobos, so
Do you think they do Phobos again? Okay, okay.
I mean that's the meme, isn't it?
That is the
If
meme.
it's not a lieutenant, it's Phobos.
Yeah, that's the meme.
Um,
Not Orc. Sorry, not Eldar. because Eldar are getting new stuff. Well,
Yeah.
unless it's all rates, they might do all rates.
True. I guess I could see them do that, but I would assume it'll be. I would assume it'd be the armies with books.
Hmm.
So I would go with Space Marines because that's just a given.
Yeah.
Necrons because they're in the starter set.
Yep.
So those are my two for sure picks right there. The other two, um, I think it would be nice to have a sisters because they don't I don't think they've ever had a box, right? Other
Um,
than their release box,
yeah. You're right.
and I guess the two player starter set. But I would assume I assume sisters. And the last one, I think you'd have to throw in either a chaos or a Xenos army there. I don't think they would do another Imperial. So I'm gonna hedge my bet on Death Guard. Those would be my four guess.
Okay.
So Death Guard, Space Marine Sisters, Krons.
I think I'm gonna do Space Marines and Necrons. I think you're spot on there. And then I'm gonna do Dark Eldar. It's
Okay.
been a while since they got stuff. And the Death Guard's a good one. I'm gonna say Orcs.
Oh yeah. Okay, you're gonna go orcs, huh?
I'm gonna go Orcs. I'm gonna go Buggies. They're gonna be like, F you guys, buy more Buggies, even though we nerfed them.
I mean, the orc is a good one because you got the red gobbo coming, so you know that
Yeah.
it makes sense.
And Orcs have a lot of kits that weren't redone, like bikes, buggies, memes aside.
But the
Orc.
buggies were all redone, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
last
but
year.
it's been a while. They weren't they weren't redone in this current wave. Um, so stuff like Killicans,
Ah,
Flash.
okay.
I think it's going to be a box of stuff that isn't new. Some of the current Orc kits that aren't terrible. Like I think the Flash kits are pretty good. It's a pretty good kit. I mean, War Bikers are functional, so maybe have those. I mean, if it's good stuff, I might pick it up if it's because it's a Battle Force and just have stuff I don't have for my work. So,
Hmm. Okay.
so
AOS.
AOS.
Um, I'm just gonna take a guess because again, I'm not too big into the AOS scene. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be a box for each faction,
Oh, each Grand Alliance makes sense.
each alliance. Yes, sorry. So I don't want this to be true, but I feel like it's the safe option. I'm gonna say Stormcast.
Okay, okay, let's make it fun. We know this. If it wasn't Stormcast, what would you like?
If it wasn't
We
Stormcast,
know it's gonna be
um, ooh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Caradon got it last year,
They did
so
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna assume an elf army. I don't want it to be the high elves, so I'm gonna say Deepkin.
Oh, Deepkin would be neat, like an eel one. I think it's gonna be High Elves though,
You think it's
because
gonna be the high elves?
they have a lot of stupidly expensive kits for no reason. Like, so 5 Sword Masters are $60. You know what's $60? 5 Custodians. You know what's a bigger model? 5 Custodians. You know what's on a 25? 5 Sword Masters. Or I think they're on 32s or something. Something that's not a 40. You know.
Right.
I believe they're called I forgot the actual name, but they're these sword masters. So I think they're gonna do high elves, which Lumina, because they have a lot of just stupidly expensive kits that could use a
Boost.
sale, a bundle box.
True.
I could see Seraphon as well. So just because they really haven't really had one in a long time. Um,
Yeah, but I didn't assume Seraphon because I assume they're getting a rework down the line with their
yeah,
base troops.
I agree.
Unless they're just trying to get rid of all their Seraphon models, and then they're like, "Hey,
Hey, new
Here are the
ones.
new ones.
Is there have a lot of new models or newer models? I think just the Saurus and the Skink. Well, I mean, Skinks actually work. I think Saurus are fugly.
Yeah, it's the
And
Saurus warriors that need the upgrade. Everything else is fine.
everything else is pretty modern. Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. I don't think the Croxigores are modern, but then again, I haven't seen a Croxigore in a long time.
Yeah, because they're resin. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
Blade Lords. There we go. Yeah, I think Lumineth would are gonna get a dude. They have the Kangaroo Cavalry, which are the same price as the Blade Lords. Like, who the hell priced these Blade Lords? Like, why? $60. But what's her base size? Let's see. 32s, man. It's five skinny ass elves for $60. Come on.
yeah. Well, that would. So I'm Deepkin, you're Illumineth. That makes sense.
Yeah, do that.
Um,
Uh,
I
Death? Or no, sorry. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say I doubt Deepkin are gonna get it, but that would be my hope. I think they kind of deserve
I
it.
can see it. I think they fit the bill of a not old as nails, or sorry, not old as dinosaurs like army,
Right?
not
They're
not
new.
super new. You know? Yeah. So I can see that. I think Deepkin's a safe bet.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, my guess would be Stormcast, but if I had to choose something else, I'd definitely just go
Yeah.
Deepkin for my hope.
Right.
Death. Okay, I'm trying to think who would be a cool Death army. I mean, the logical choice would be Soulblight, right? Because
They're too. I think they're too new.
they're
But it's
too
but
new.
then again, they never had a battle box, so yeah, they could have a Soul Blight one with skeletons, and yeah, no, I can see that. I can see Soul Blight.
I I would I would want to say Soulblight. Um, but you are right; they are too new.
Hmm.
So if I had to choose someone else, I'd say the Primaris Tomb Kings.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say Bone Reapers as well. I think they make sense. They're new, but not too new, and they have a lot of cool models. Yeah, I could see. Man, I have a Bone Reapers art. I should paint those guys. Why did I
Yeah,
stop? I think I stopped them because that's when I started Star Wars Legion. I just went ham.
yeah.
Yeah,
So if I had to guess, I would assume Bone Reapers.
yeah, I agree. I want to say Bone Reapers as well.
Um, I'm gonna say Destruction. I want to say the Orcs. That's pretty much all I can really say. I don't really know what faction of Orcs they're gonna do, but
Goblins, maybe? New goblins?
New
Goblins or
Goblins.
Iron Jaws? Yeah, if it's orcs, it's gonna be Iron Jaws. Iron Jaws or goblins.
I'm sure. I'm sure it'll just be like a mix mash of the Orcs. You know,
I could see
I'm sure they'll have a mishmash of everything in there. You'll have the Cruel Boys, Iron Jaws, and Goblins all mixed up in there. I don't know how the Orc faction works, but I'm sure it's something to that effect. That one's probably the hardest one to figure out, and then the next hardest one to figure out would be Chaos. I don't know what I don't know which one they would do. I mean, they usually just do a demon army, right? Majority of the time. I think last year it was Zinch and Slanesh, if I recall correctly.
Oh my gosh, the Zinj Plex was amazing. I think two of those was 2,000 points. Actually, two of those was like 2,300 points. That was an amazing, amazing battle force. Makes me wish I played Zinj.
Yeah, I missed out on that, but that's okay.
It's okay. Uh,
So I don't think Zinch and Slanesh would be in this year's box. I mean, they could just re-release the whole thing, but
maybe Nurgle to coincide with the battle tome.
yeah, you know that makes sense. The Battle Tome is coming out,
Yeah, or Skaven.
and
Nurgle
then
or
you just put well, I don't know if you want to put a new character in there,
that's true.
but you could.
You could, yeah, you absolutely could.
Uh, yeah, it's difficult for me because I don't really know all the Chaos armies. So I'm just gonna I'll go with what you said. So that was Blight Kings, right?
Yeah, it was Nurgle. So if that's your answer, I'm gonna say Skaven. I'm gonna say we're gonna say Skaven box.
You gonna see Skaven?
Yeah,
I don't think they would ever do a Skaven box.
yeah,
Not until they get updated. I don't think they're gonna do a Skaven box.
fair, 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 fair.
All right, well, there's our predictions. We'll have to. When is this predictions again?
This is Thursday. They'll reveal on Thursday.
Oh, it's 2 days. Two or not 2 days. Well, 2 days from when this video gets posted.
Hmm.
So, all right then. Good stuff. We'll have to wait and see who is
Indeed,
right.
indeed, should be fun.
I look for. I like the prediction stuff. Probably like the most fun I have.
Right.
Well, we've been talking for quite a while here. I think we'll get into a hobby rants and then I'll call it a night.
Sounds good to me.
Uh, would you like to start off?
Yeah. I've been working on some my Black Templars. I'm about to finish Initiate Squad. I actually no gaming though for 40K. I actually went to a tournament on the weekend. I
What?
went
You went on a
to
tournament?
an X-wing tournament
Oh,
because
okay.
X-wing requires no hobby and the matches are like 1 hour each and does not melt my brain. So I was like, yeah. I've actually been playing X-wing at a local store weekly when I can. Um, but yeah, I went 1 and 2 because I'm a noob, but it was still super fun. X-Wing is one of those games where if you lose, it's never a feels bad. It's like, wow, it's always like, wow, I got seriously outplayed. That was cool. you know. So
Hey,
I flew resistance, so I had Poe Dameron and some nameless goons, and it was fun. I had a good time. X-Wing is always a fun time.
hey. I mean, that's what I live by. If I have fun, as long as everyone's having a good time, I think it's a great tournament. I don't care if I lose the tournament or whatnot.
Actually, it's interesting because X-Wing had a major rules change that's dividing the community. Well, at least perception. The perception is it is. I don't think it is. And we use that change for the tournament. So how in X-Wing, I don't, have you played X-Wing, right?
I played X. I'm gonna say first edition X-wing because I don't
Okay.
know how many renditions it's gone through now.
It's two. It's second edition now. But a big part of X-Wing, if you remember, is the initiative value or pilot skill.
Yes.
So essentially, in X-Wing, all your ships have an initiative value, and rookie ships move first, so the skilled ships could react with their actions,
Hmm.
and the skilled ships shoot first. However, how it is in I don't know how it was in first edition, but in second edition, if there was a tie, then the player who has priority, I believe, goes first or something.
Yes,
And
that sounds about right.
priority, there we go. So priority was determined by what's called a bid, so a difference in points. So whoever had the lowest points decided who had priority. So a big part of list building was leaving enough points. It's a 200 point game, so a big part was like, should I be down 5 points, 10 points? They want a really deep bid of 15 points, so you get to decide who has priority because it could really change games. If you have two aces, going first could matter a lot, or going second could be game defining, right? And it is playing X-wing. So the change they made was they removed the bid thing. So now priority is determined every round, like AOS style. So you would roll off every turn who has priority. And again, priority doesn't necessarily mean you always shoot first or blah blah blah. It just means when there's ties, then it decides who wins the tiebreaker, who gets to shoot first, who gets to move first, and all that. So that's now a random roll at the start of every turn, and it definitely makes the game way. It's more obviously more random,
Hmm.
But I personally think it's more exciting. I like that it's an aura of unpredictability, and it feels again more exciting, more tense, more like a dogfight, which the game simulates, where you don't know. And there's times where I lost a roll off, and it really changed how my turn went because now I'm moving first, and he gets to react to my movement.
Right.
And there's times where I went, I got second, and I was able to react. I was able to boost at the right direction, so I would avoid his shots and get behind another ship, stuff like that. And yeah, it's a big change for the X-wing community. And right now, it's there's a lot of heated discussion, very heated discussion online about if it's good for the game or not. But I so far I had a good time. Everyone there enjoyed it. You know, so
I can't remember, but I thought maybe because I played a lot of like beginner games. I thought it was
uh,
always the bad guys who went first, the rebels.
I think they changed that because there's more factions now. Because in 1.0 you only had rebels and empire.
Right.
Now there's rebels, there's empire, there's separatists, there's clones, there's resistance, there's scum, which are mercenaries, there's first order. So
So
like
they had to change
commando,
it.
right? Exactly. So they gotta and yeah, and I think it initially it made for a more tactical list building where you would have that bit, but I think now I much prefer the just roll every turn, you know, deal with it, right? Like it's the fog of war. You don't know what's going on. So
True. It does add. eh, If you like it, it does add a bit of a luck to that.
yeah, it's definitely less predictable, but I like a good amount of unpredictability. I mean, I don't like it when everything's random. Like I think random warlord traits is stupid. For example,
Yeah,
30K still has that, which is dumb. Hope they change that. But yeah, like stuff like that for X-wing. I think I had fun. I had a good time.
that's good.
With everything you change.
Very cool. Um, Me, I didn't do any hobbying, so I'm very still slacking on my hobby uh job. Like I said, I still got like those 6 bins I need to paint.
Yes.
Don't worry, I'll get my butt kicking soon. But this week I did play a game, a 40K,
Oh, nice.
with against Travis, and I must say, man, normal Chaos Space Marines have it so rough.
Oh yeah, not having those two wounds. Ooh,
It's just
among other things.
it was it was a good game. It was fun. I mean, he ran 2 Lord of Skulls and
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think he had like 3 squads of berserkers and rhinos, and obvious a sorcerer and a disco lord. So he was quite a threat. I had to send like 20 Terminators to kill 1 Lord of Skulls and shoot my entire army into one just to
Nice.
kill one.
Nice.
But yeah, overall it was a pretty. It came down to the wire because, like always, I picked not the best secondaries.
Yeah.
But luckily, my opponent Travis didn't pick the best secondaries either.
There you go. Balances out.
Yeah, so it made the game a lot closer than it probably should have been. But overall, I had a fun time, and it just made me love my army a bit more. And
Nice.
he did play with the change where he was getting explosive sixes in melee, so
Okay.
it definitely helped out the berserkers a bit more. But what can you do when you're going against Terminators? Can't do too much against them.
Especially Terminators with 3 wounds. Well, you only have one.
Yeah, but that's all I did. This week, be doing Shadows of Brimstone, so
Nice.
be having fun with that dungeon crawl. And see, and if anything else, uh, Yeah, the Resident Evil Kickstarter that I kickstarted like 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I mentioned that it was Resident Evil, but I did mention I kickstarted something. That
Mhm.
finally got that was successful, which is not too surprising because it's a
Right.
popular IP.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to that.
That should be fun.
It's a dungeon crawl, so I don't know why I like dungeon crawl board games, but that seems to be my niche
I
hobby
need.
right there.
Hey, there you go.
But yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to get that in the next 2 years probably, as all Kickstarters always have delays. Never never prepare for that Chinese New Year where China shuts down for X amount of time. But other than that, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna
Nice.
start getting my hobby overdrive in this month, even though we're halfway through this month. So,
Yeah, with LVO coming, makes sense.
yep, I got no, not 40. I got 20, 20 Terminators. I got like 35 models I still need to paint up.
Okay. Yeah, I only have 25 for my Black Templars, and I'm good to go for my 2K. Finally play some more 40K games.
Yeah, I'll get my Black Templar up and running, you know, after the Thousand Suns. But yeah, there we go. That's it. Um, I've got nothing else to add unless you got something you want to talk
Uh,
about.
no, that's kind of it.
All right, then. I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end, and we'll catch you later.
Later, everyone.
Bye.